Hey guys, it's Rocky Maxwell, the mental model. I just got back from the gym, so pardon the attire. That's what we're doing today. I just wanted to make this video because it's been on my mind the past couple weeks because grief and holidays and it being such a joyous and merry and jolly time, but also for a lot of people it's sucks. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about basically the juxtaposition between pain and joy. I'm one that loves Christmas. I love the holiday times. My birthday's Christmas Eve. So I don't know, I'm a winter baby to a T. And I get so excited for the presents and the decorations and the snow and the fireplace, Christmas trees, all the things. But then, I don't know, there's also a moment as we get closer to Christmas and with the holidays where I'm just sad too. And I have talked about on my Instagram my grief journey in 2021 when it happened. So that was before I started making videos on YouTube. But one of my best friends passed away in January 4th, 2021. So we're coming up on 5 years of that. And I'd say this was last year and this year was one of the first years where I felt like myself again, and it turned into more of a celebration of her rather than the thought of just not wanting to be here. But with January 4th coming up and it coming onto her 5-year anniversary of her being gone, it's hit me in a different way because they say time heals grief, and in a way that's true. And when people say that, it's more so just the shock really is what just wears off as time goes. But then I don't know if people talk about like the more time goes, it starts hurting more again, because I think about how one day it's gonna come a time where she was gone longer than I knew her here on Earth. And life, I'm thankful that I have a best friend group. I've been friends with the same group of people since first grade through middle school and high school, and now I'm from a small town in Michigan. So we grew up together literally, and we are still and will always be in each other's lives. And so losing one of us, it was just such a detriment because it just changed the dynamics of now one of us being gone. And so I knew Blythe for 15 years, and now with 5 years coming up of her being gone, it's like, geez, 2 more times this happens and she would be gone longer than she was here with me, and that freaks me out. And so also too, with the day of her dying being on January 4th, it's like Christmas comes and New Year, and it's like Happy New Year, and then it's knowing like literally it's not a Happy New Year because in a couple days it's about to be the day where she was taken from us. And I always reflect during this time of 2020, because 2020 was such a horrible fucking year globally. Everybody knows that. We had the pandemic and COVID and quarantine, and it was just such a crazy time. And I remember thinking, like, celebrating that New Year's Eve, and we were just all like, can't get any worse. Here comes cheers to 2021. What could possibly be worse than this freaking year we had? And then jokes on me. She passes away. So it's just so many things, so much nuance of it all. Of like, I remember that year, 2020, feeling so bad for all the people who lost loved ones to COVID. And it was just so much pain. And I remember that Christmas, that holiday time, just me and my mom talking about how it was just so down. It didn't feel right, you know? It just didn't feel right celebrating when so many people had so many losses and pain. And then literally like 2 weeks later, one of my best friends suddenly passes away. She was hit by a trailer semi truck in a car accident. So that's also another video that I talked about in the past that I could bring on YouTube. It took me 2 years to drive on the highway again. I just was terrified. So that was something that I had to get over in and of itself. And then just thanatophobia, the fear of death, just something that started developing in me. I was terrified to leave the house, terrified to travel, terrified to do anything because I was convinced I was going to die. I was scared that my mom, close ones, loved ones were going to die. And not even scared, I was convinced that they were. And so that was a tragic time that I had to go through. And that's why I say last year and this year was the first years where I felt like myself, because that has subsided a little bit. My anxiety is still bad. I prefer not to drive. You know, if I don't have to, I won't. So I still don't do it often, especially on the highway. I find, and it's convenient living in big cities. I was in New York and then now Chicago, so I always take the subway, Ubers, transit. It's easy, but I have to travel a lot for work, and getting on planes again scared me. And then now when I have to travel for work, I will do everything I can to find the bus options, bus, train options. I just don't want to do it, and so that's just an ongoing fear that I feel like I might be working on for the rest of my life. I don't know. But I say all this to say, if you are dealing with grief in any way, I have my best friend, her mom passed away last December 15th. So we came up on a year of that. My cousin just lost her mom in June. So it's been 6 months of that. And I don't know, it's just so much pain during the holiday time. But it's just like, but then I'm also so excited and happy. And so this is just about, I don't really know what the point of this was. It's just, if anyone can relate, people who feel lost as well, people who, I remember after Black passed, I felt like I had to be sad. I felt guilty for being happy. You know, it was like, my best friend died, like I can't be happy, you know. Or some people might feel like my mom died, my dad, my sister, sibling, it's someone, my child died, what right do I have to be happy? But then I've tried to reframe that. I was like, Blythe isn't here, and so I have to be happy for her, you know, and be joyous and live for her. And so I've just tried to, it took time, but just reframing the idea of living joyously for the people who aren't here, because they aren't here to experience it. And so it is my duty to live for, that's my cat playing, one of my cats playing with a toy. I feel as though it is my duty and my privilege to be able to live this life fully for the people who aren't here. And yeah, it's just, it's amazing how pain and grief and how joy and grief can just live together at the same time. And I always feel that heavy at this time. And so I love Christmas and I love the decorations and I'm always so happy and I post videos about that, but that does not exclude the fact that there's a lot of sadness also happening. And I just feel for anyone going through hard times now or this year, anyone who has this time of year bring up emotions for them, I see you, I feel you, I can relate. And I don't know, we just got to get through this. In the beginning times, it was literally hour by hour, day by day. And still now it's just day by day, year by year. I'm thankful to be here, thankful to be alive, because I know now the privilege of what that is. And yeah, I wish everyone a happy holiday in whatever way that looks for you, whether that is sadness, whether that is pain, whether that is joy, and whether that's all of the above, because really that's what life is, all the emotions. And what a privilege it is to be able to feel them. So thank you for watching, and virtual hugs, and I will talk to you guys later.